So for this video, guys, we're going to look at PO shot post as the last part of our man activation scheme. And this one's going to be a little bit more unique because there's a little bit of a hidden motion that most people, if any people, they don't know about this, right? So what I'm going to do here is get ourselves in the cloud flats and talk about it. What I'm going to do is put this Y on a slant, okay? Then we're going to motion the slant left. When you motion him left, and you're going to be able to get this Y to this position right next to the tight end. That's very powerful. We don't have to do anything else for this Y to get open because the S route gets open, all right? So I'm going to show you that right away. We can cut off the play action, Y goes over there, and it's going to man activate, and we are doing a great job getting to the left side of the field, right? So it's going to be an easy catch for you, easy there. I like to do it to where I put one more player in the field, right? So I want to make sure you see I'm motioning my Y to the left. When you motion him left, he stops right there. If he motioned him to the right, he would go all the way to the outside. Now, by putting the A on a streak, it's an optional option for you. You're now going to get the S route more into play because the A is going to drive back the deep safety while the Y gives you that ability. So if somebody goes and tries to cover the Y across the field, now we're going to be able to throw that ball right there. So you're really giving yourself that second option. Definitely a play that you want a little bit more time with. Yeah, you still have your 5 initial blockers plus your 6th blocker. So you're in good shape. You're just not in a great double-edge heat type shape, right? So want to make sure you see that. It's definitely a nice option with that. Now, the next spot I like to do is I like to take the Y and I like to put him on a hitch. Motion him to the left. Okay? Then I put the A on a streak. Actually, the A on a slant, I meant. And do it like this. What is this going to do for me? What it's going to do, it's going to keep your user at home. If the user decides that he wants to cover that slant all the way across the field, now you got this guy right away, right? It's one of those things that you just put in once you've done this setup before. You don't want them to ever feel comfortable. This is the non-comfort, right? I can always put him on a hinge at the end because he's in that slot position, and we're going like this, right? So if they're in that position like that, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the play action. A goes across, and you can see that we're still going to be able to throw it to him if they stay. That's a user. You pick your poison in a split second. Do you want to cover the man activation route, or do you want to cover this? Now, I do want to talk about hard flats with this combination. You can throw it to the wheel, but with the S route, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be much tougher on that. The reason for it is unless they're doing any type of, and I'll show you both ways. This is on traditional cover 3. Unless they're in a hard flat, a deep half situation, it's going to be tougher. So what I'm going to do is just set it up like this, and you're going to see this guy's going here. The B's going to go over there. You're going to have to time it pretty tight there, right? Now, if they're in a cover 3 where they are inverted in the coverage in deep halves, then let me see here. Let's put this guy on a slant, move him over. You're going to see that that guy is going to be a little bit more apt to cover the X because he's going to the middle of the field. And I put him on cloud flats. My bad. I wasn't even paying attention. We're doing hard flats. So he's going to cover him a little bit more to the middle of the field, and that's going to give us that a little bit more ability to have, you're talking a few inches more, but it definitely helps when it comes to, finding ways to beat those coverages, right? So this guy comes across. Now he's going to the middle of the field, and you can see here, that's a much easier throw, right? So I want to make sure that you know that against hard flats, because you're keeping the S route on there, it's going to be tougher. Can you put the S route on a streak and affect the play? Absolutely. It doesn't do anything to it. You can do the same exact thing, right? You can do this. You just take away that additional ability to make your player pay. So if you think that you want to do the setup and you don't know if it's hard flats, cloud flats, yeah, go ahead and do this. And what you're going to do is you're going to wait for that B to come across, and that's such an easier throw because the S route wasn't bringing that guy down the field as much because it was a slower developing route. So it's just another way to really attack your man activation cloud flats. I don't know if I showed you cover 2. That's going to be the same thing. And I just want to make sure that you get the whole spectrum of this play because when you do this, and I'm just going to do this setup where I'm putting the A on the streak, and you can see here that that guy will man activate. They're waiting, and there's just so many moving parts to this. As a user, think about what you're looking at here. Like, I'm just going to go on to instant replay. You've got, first of all, you got the motion, right? So you're worried about the motion. You've got the A on a streak up the field. You've got the wheel going to the left. You got the S route. You've got the slant. You're trying to figure out who's braking which direction. And when you finally see a break, are you going to, if you see that S route break before the left player bails out, I'm not covering that slant across the field. I'm going to cover the S route because I think that he's going to be the route. Once that's the case, what are they going to cover, right? And that's when you're going to be able to throw it to them. So that's why, with the right protection, when calling these without getting maximum blitzed, you're going to have some great success. We showed you how to do it with, max protection. Now, if you can get them out of max protection, out of blitzing you, because if they get beat like this on all their hard flats and cloud flats, they're going to have to put more people into coverage psychologically. And if they do that, that's when you're really going to be able to make them pay.